Hey, my boys. I've been listening to
And what they're doing
this
is they are bringing all Christians under the
Lauren Moritz
and the Greek
Global
Orthodox
Chaos Agenda.
Church, some of the other Orthodox churches.
I'm not familiar with everything. I'm only an hour into it, but I understand what's happening. Oh, damn. Oh, I do need to listen to that. This was just by mistake right now.
You think you would be able to view it, even though it might be upsetting? Absolutely. But could I look at it? Difficult. And when you say difficult to look at it, if you knew you had to view all the evidence, do you think, even though it might be disturbing, which is normal, do you think you would be able to view it and then just give it the weight you think it's due in relation to all the other evidence you may see or hear? Yes. Thank you for that. And juror 977, I think you also are a mother. Does that cause you any concern about your ability to be able to view those images?
The court, I'm realizing what the court's doing.
That if Sean, even if they were
they're doing a questionnaire. That's exactly what they're doing, a questionnaire.
Or the weight you think they're due in relation to all the other evidence that you may see or hear.
They're doing a study on us.
Nothing about them would automatically make you form an opinion just based on the
This is what I'm pissed about. This is the Doomsday Cult Prophet Murder Trial.
Can you talk to me a little bit about your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, let's go back to the original, what I was trying to put out.
Today, we'll be focusing on
now remember, my boys, since I'm doing the whole HOWKA thing, I wasn't I just found this out 2019, the HOWKA name, because I kept trying to figure out, what are they trying to tell me before the pandemic happened. And I found right before it hit, I found the name, and I'm like, okay, that's what I needed to find out. Because the birds were telling me, the crows were telling me, and I'm like, there's magic involved because there were so many crows. And it seems like they were getting in a fight. And it was beautiful. It was amazing.
So that's where a lot of the very, very mendacious and
I was told, why can't, like, I'm running Forrest Gump thing. I'm doing a Forrest Gump thing.
They're coming from to roll out the global Jesuit agenda. And as far as I can see, President Putin of Russia is one of the
so nervous.
only really
I feel everybody. I feel like
to this new world order, as we're seeing now today in the Russian and Syrian successes with the help of Iran and Hezbollah. Even the Iraqis are fighting with them. They've come from their countries to support.
I felt all those ancestors around me. They just kept me in a bubble.
Horrible terrorists that have been supported and funded by the United States.
And as I'm seeing, and Alexa helps me so much.
The Arabian Gulf.
She helps me so much.
But they are simply oil producers who have been captured by U.S. hegemony.
I get sick. I do get sick.
So that's
where I go back into the past so much. I'm fantasizing it. It's not fantasizing. It's more like imagining it.
You were talking about
understanding their moment, their pain, and understand that they went through the hardship, so you can be here today. So be mindful on what you're using.
This week will be
you hurt your body, you're
contrasting
hurting
that
them.
with what you said
And my son said
is
that
the
to me too.
global chaos
And he even told
agenda
Lauren Tappy,
that
he
the
even told his
Western
dad,
powers, the UK,
when you
the
call
US
yourself
and
fat,
Israel,
you're hurting
uh,
me because I think
which
I'm
are sort
fat.
of the
Anthony, you said that
manifestations of
before.
the Jesuit and
And
other hidden
that
agendas, sort of the
I
concentrating
wasn't thinking that.
on
And
the
it came out of
US
your mouth.
and
It came
getting
out of
very,
my
very
son's
topical.
mouth. And I'm like, you're
Because
right. I
it's
got your back,
2016
Anthony. You're
and we
absolutely
have the
right. Because I love the way you
presidential
look,
race,
Anthony.
and we
You're so
just had
cute.
the New Hampshire
You're
primary,
a chunky boy.
and Donald
Perfect.
Trump seems to have come out of
So I knew
nowhere,
if
although he's
anyone
been
fucked
running
with
for
your weight
president
in school,
for
I got
at
your,
least
I
15
would
to
be
25
off on them.
years.
And I
And,
did.
you know, there's been a lot of foreshadowing in movies and cartoons and all
Look
sorts
at
of things
you,
about
like,
a Trump presidency. He now wants to build a wall. He calls it a Chinese wall with Mexico to keep out the heroin.
now the nose that I'm doing the symbol,
However,
my little like
you and I have long
autograph
covered
thing
that.
that
It
I'm
seems to
doing
me
with the
that
plus and the
heroin
minus and the
is
nose
so
and the
big.
mouth.
So it's the CIA that's bringing in the heroin.
It's
You know,
the
since
nose will
the
change.
Vietnam War and
So the
before,
nose will
and that
it
if
will
you're going to
be
stop the heroin, you've got to get the
it's gonna be
CIA
always
to
red.
stop
But
its
it's gonna be
war
different shapes
on
and
the
stuff.
American
It's just
people.
it's gonna be
Would you
either
comment
oval, like a
on this
Mickey
and
Mouse
why
nose or a clown
the
nose,
American people are being
or
tricked
like
with
it's
Trump
just
again with this
like
Mexican
Rudolph nose,
wall,
you know.
which is just another
It's just
CIA
different
vassal.
symbols on how you
Well,
feel.
first of all, the Jesuits
And then
run
the plus and the
the
minus,
global
you can
drug
always make a
racket,
positive out of something.
and so Trump basically is an agent of the Jesuits. Don't forget that. And the Jesuit mafia.
So this is what Hermes is bringing me.
That's really what he is. And
I don't.
And don't expect anything different from him, because he also went to
It's so
Catholic and Jesuit
cool.
schools.
And doing the mirror image thing because they give me people to like look at. I don't like, oh my god, that person reminds me of that person. Is that why you brought me that person? So I can laugh and like, oh yeah, they're gonna trigger me like you wouldn't believe. And
Jesuit training at some point in their careers,
they have such good advice for
during
me
their
to
education.
to
Many
get.
of them go to Georgetown University.
Now I see like the license plates. I got that from Elvis. Elvis told me. I don't know if he told me or not, or if it's the entails or bullshit. But Elvis has been a big part of my timeline because of my aunt. My aunt's the one that told me about the license plate and the whole
drug racket.
stuff. So little bits, I can take little bits and stuff I can remember, and I don't want to lose it. So I didn't lose it. It's right there. Some of it's right there, but I know if I go deep in my mind, it's there. It can come out. That means other people can hack into it and whatnot. But my dad told me, think of your own truth. Think of your own like cloud. Yeah, cloud. No, I said a bunch of clouds. So like a cat, like 9 lives. This is it.
Travel to India in fast clipper ships
home run
and pick up the opium because the British East India Company did not want to go and sell opium directly.
And these bars, these cops, these sheriff departments, teachers, lawyers, doctors, they go to bars and they'll do cocaine or heroin or fentanyl to get that high. But before it was other things.
Gold or silver. And then later on, the British didn't want to lose all their gold and silver doing this trade for tea, that they could charge taxes on silk and porcelain. And so the British took over China and completely addicted 250 million people to opium. Boy, is that a big candy store. And does that make a lot of revenue? And Franklin Delano Roosevelt's mother was born in Shanghai. And
I always said that, and I didn't even think about what I was saying. I'm like, what if they put cocaine in there, and that's why we're all addicted? That would have been one fucking nightmare, and that's why we were so fucking addicted. And then here I am listening to it, I'm like, holy cow, there it is. Coca-Cola, duh. It would just make sense that they would do it in food. Or coffee. They did it in coffee before. They did it in the teas.
For the ancient Iranian bloodline that we've been talking about in interviews over the past year.
And Hermes is telling me that this goes back to his time.
Yeah, Trump and that wall. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So Trump now.
So I go, okay, before I go bring up Leonardo da Vinci because it's gonna sound really fucking crazy. The Mona Lisa, I never fucking liked. It just always bothered me. But since I asked him, so how am I gonna know if I'm connecting to you or not? Because you'll see symbols and messages that will guide you. Alright. And then I had the freaking Bermuda Triangle on my face. So I'm like, alright. And I had to look for the triangles. And then the water thing, the water life thing. And then I asked, this was in like middle school. Then I asked, I asked again, that I was talking, then I asked again, like in Tuscan. Okay, if this happened to bring up, can I bring this up? Like, how will I?
From a democratic free country with a constitution,
I don't know what to say. And it was just interesting.
What's going to happen to America? Much more repressive, and more people are going to die.
So, anyways,
and that was unbelievable to me. But it was the end of the Cold War.
I needed to find out where these people's mindsets were, and who, if they knew who I was talking about. Because there is codes there. It's right fucking there. How do we not? Why would anyone take him away from us? Why would anyone take art away from us to not listen to us? It's a message. It's their way of talking to us. They took away that language. All for.
There are also two of them running Homeland Security right now. They set it up and they're running it. So Janet Napolitano wasn't making all the decisions,
please.
And she wasn't the power behind the throne. She was on the throne of Homeland Security.
And she even mentions Pope, how he's like nonchalant about in his ceremonies. Like he doesn't believe it. Yeah, like you can tell. He lost faith in it. Like there's this bullshit. He knows too much. You can tell it's in his body language. But in the Native American culture and deep tribal cultures and indigenous cultures, they are healthy. They know the land. They speak the land. They don't need any of that jewelry stuff. They need Mother Nature, and they are grateful for what they have. And the Pope has money. But yet, look at him. He's sick. The teeth thing. I had to find out about the teeth thing because I grew up with sugar, and sugar is why your teeth get crooked. And then you end up sucking on things, and you just. My mom is. I couldn't get braces. I got braces until I was older. Because I felt like. Everyone's smiling. It's just nice to have. I see my ancestors and they all have nice teeth. And that's because they didn't have sugar in their diet. and their teeth had been strong because they had to eat nuts and hard things. And my dad's teeth were straight. My mom's teeth were straight. But when my mom had sugar, when she added sugar to us, it's all fucked up. And I learned it. And my kids' teeth, they are not as bad. They were getting a little bit, but they didn't have as much as I realized. It was the sugar that the sucking on part, like if you and it's generic too. It'll end up being generic. So I knew if I had crooked teeth that they're higher risk of getting teeth too. So I know that their kids chances are 50-50 because I changed that for them. I made sure that they didn't get the soda a lot. They had dentist appointments. Yeah, they had cavities, but I made sure that I did the best I can with their teeth. I took them to the dentist when they were kindergarten. We started kindergarten, fifth grade, and then seventh, when he was 7 years old. That's when he started going like every year. It was like the yearly checkup and stuff like that for all of them. But eventually I knew braces would be, but that would be optional. And to me, I felt like braces, you can get them as an adult, so there's no rush. There's really no rush. Learn the teeth routine and everything. Learn your diet first before you get braces, because braces, it does do it's very hard on you. But I mean, it's worth it. It was worth it. The braces were worth it, and I knew it would be. But I knew that I had to change everything, and that would be like even my environment. What else? Now, I know also they were fucking with our teeth too with the water, and they were trying to make us go to the dentist. They were trying to, because it's a big business. She was telling me about Waco, and she said, well, it used to be an Air Force base. And it's funny because Yolanda's mom, the one that was bullying me, her mom was a dentist. She was a dentist assistant. And then she ends up being, she went to school for or something like that, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Where's this?
Waco, Texas.
So that means I am right that Selena, from the singer, Yolanda wasn't. She wasn't the only one involved. There was other people involved. It was a gang involved. To me, that's what I'm getting, because Yolanda that I'm dealing with wasn't the only one involved in my murder, which they hated me, telling you they hated me. So Frank moved to Texas, so he's guilty. Michelle Castro's in Colorado. My Uncle Scott has brain cancer. Lauren, and his daughter's named Lauren. Michelle Castro's mom died of brain cancer. My mom's name is my mom's name is Michelle Elaine Corman, and she goes by Shelley. And my godmother is Bonnie Holly, Bonnie Holly, and her husband Mike Holly. He passed away. And they have a kid. They have two boys named Justin and Jeremy. His mother is actually the illegitimate daughter of Governor Rockefeller of Arkansas. This is my grandpa. And so Clinton is actually, and this would be through marriage, Hillary
would
Yep.
also be in the
I
Rockefeller
only forgive my dad. My boys, I had to
extended family.
forgive my dad.
So,
Fully forgive my
she's
dad.
probably going to be president for that reason. And so Bill
For me
Clinton
to
built
do
that
this,
airport as a trade-free zone.
that was so
The
difficult.
U.S. has no legal
But
jurisdiction.
if
They
he
can't
was
enter
alive
it
today,
with any law enforcement or anything. And Rockefeller
I don't know if I would be able
747s
to
that
hug
are unmarked
him.
are landing there every day with
Because the last time I
thousands
gave
of
him a
tons
hug
of
was,
China white
I don't
heroin.
remember.
And it's the way the Chinese government is paying off their debt, loans and interest to the Rockefellers,
But
lending them the money
whatever
to
it was,
modernize
it
China.
never felt like my
There's
mom's stuff.
lots
It was
of heroin
fake.
coming into the country, and every time I read a Journal of the
It
American
just
Medical Association
being right by my dad,
issue, there is always an article or
and he'll give
mention
me.
of
My
the
dad was never
heroin
a hugging
flooding
type,
into the United States, and it seems
but he
to
gives me the
increase
shoulder.
or spike
But
during
so
war times when we're involved, for instance, in the Ukraine or Iraq,
he hates that
Afghanistan.
feeling.
So
He tells me he hates
and
that feeling.
somehow
That
linked to
he
the
just
wars,
can't
and I
go and
believe
give me
it's
a hug.
because the sick and wounded soldiers are coming back. The U.S. doesn't really
And
have very
he's
good
like,
treatment for pain. And so
oh,
these
you're gonna give
wounded
me someone to
soldiers
give
and
me a hug,
mentally
and I
ill
just
soldiers
give me my
are
kid,
turning to
please.
heroin to relieve their discomfort. But it's not just them. It's spreading
As
everywhere.
you wish.
Right. Now, this, so this has actually been reported on by mainstream reporters. I know that even got awards, and I think one of them was actually assassinated out of San Diego, California, back in the 80s. And so
whoever
this
is
is
protecting me
common knowledge.
is
And yet
a
we
lot
have,
of
now here we are in
ancestors.
2016, and we have presidential campaigns, we have debates, and nobody is
I'm
mentioning
grateful. I'm
any of this,
thankful that they are
including
doing this
the
for
Mina
me.
Airport. And this is common knowledge in the research
But I feel
community. Why
everyone's
is that?
pain.
Well, it's because it's a huge illegal racket. The doping
Hey
racket
boys,
produces 5 times more money.
this has
There's
been
5
going
times
on.
more currency circulating in this underground economy than in the global legitimate economy that we all think is
Help
running
out
the
when you
world.
can, but be you and be strong.
That is an
You don't need
economy
money.
based on
You
drugs.
need yourself.
For every dollar in circulation, there are $5 in that economy in circulation.
Hustle, yeah. You kind of have to
And a lot of
hustle.
the money is put
But
in
hustle
offshore
knowing
banks
that
in island nations that were
you're hustling
formerly
for the future.
part
You
of
know,
the
you're
British
hustling
Empire, and they're independent now. But
for
Queen
yourself.
Elizabeth owns 52%
You're gambling
of
with your
the
own self.
banks
So
on these
it just.
former colonies.
Right. Now, if and just for those
suicide's not real. I mean, suicide.
that
Yeah,
may not
actually,
have
yeah,
seen
because
it,
it's
I know that
it's a
we
mind
did a
fuck.
whole
I mean,
series on
schizophrenia is not real.
doping.
Autism
I
was.
know that
We all have
myself,
autism.
I'm of
It's
the
a
Vietnam
puzzle
War
piece. We got to.
generation. And the book
And I
Doping
knew
really
when I was in special ed,
exploded
like I didn't
and
need to be in there.
exposed the Vietnam War
I just needed
as nothing more than a
more
cover
attention and to be in
for
school. I was
doping
never in school.
to
I was always absent.
import
That's a big problem. My mom didn't care if we were inside of school or
heroin
not. She would go to work as long as we stayed inside and not
in the body
outside.
bags
We
from
were latchkey kids.
of dead soldiers from the
And
Golden Triangle.
yeah, my
where
sister said something
supposedly
about
the
Munchausen.
Vietnamese War
I forgot what it
taking
was,
place
but
in
we were
order
latchkey
to
kids.
addict
I
the
would
inner
be pretty much
cities,
taking care, or just making sure,
the
as being the
underclass of the
oldest,
U.S.
and
the
if Mandy and
youth.
Michelle weren't there,
And I
and
say
sometimes
that
Mandy and
because at
Michelle,
the
they would
time, one
fucking
of my legal
fight.
clients was Pan American
They're
Airways, which had
bitches.
the
Yeah.
the
So
contract before
I even had, yeah,
bringing back dead GIs
my sister,
in
they
body bags,
fight
and
so
it led to
much.
my
So
leaving
my sister got the telephone
Wall
wire,
Street
and
law
these was
practice
curly
because
ones at the time.
I could
Telephone
not
wire, and she
stomach
was, I think it was
the
Michelle.
moral, just the moral
Oh
corruptness
man,
of
one
it.
of them had
So
the
it's
cord
been
wrapped
known
around
now
each
for
other's necks.
over 40
And it was on
years
top of each other,
that
and I
it's
went
the
to go tell my mom,
CIA,
and she was
the
doing her hair in the
government,
bathroom,
and big
like
capital
getting ready to do
that
something,
have
getting to
no
work
big,
or
which
something.
is the
I go, Mom,
monarchies,
like they're choking each other
the
with
City of
the
London
telephone wire,
bankers,
and
Wall Street,
and I
which
just hear my
is
mom, knock it
addicting
off, you
the
two,
U.S.
stop it, and I didn't
Uh,
go back in there,
how is this
and my
going to
mom
be
had to
stopped?
separate them.
It's not.
And
There has to be
I'm just like, well, I don't do it with my
an
sister.
increase in
I
awareness.
don't think I
There
can.
has
And
to
then
be
sooner or later, it ends
a
up getting
global
like that. I
movement
end up hating my
that is
sister.
unstoppable, and it has to be overwhelming
I
in order
never
to
thought
stop it.
me and my brother's
We have
relationship
to
would
get
change
rid of the
either, and it
corruption. The
did.
United States is really one of the most corrupt countries in the world. Although it's hidden from the people, but I think they're realizing it more and more now.
My initials are TLC.
I mean, John
My
Kerry's
brother's initials
family
is
fortune and
JWC,
the Roosevelt family fortune was
C,
made on
JC, J
John
and C.
Kerry's great-great-great-great-great-grandfather from
Is
the early
short, and if you
1800s.
don't do
When he
the
was 24
middle
years
initials,
old,
and
he
mine
owned
would be
3
TC
vast
if you leave
clipper
the L
ships,
out.
and he was doing
And
the opium
Stephanie,
run to
my sister, would
China
be SCC,
and made a fortune
and then
for the
SC
family.
if you leave
But
it out.
these
So I would
families
just joke
never
around
kind of
going,
like
all right,
mention
Santa Claus,
that they made their fortune on
Tom
drugs.
Cruise,
But they're really happy to
and
continue supporting
Jesus
that
Christ.
endeavor. And
Yeah,
if you
Santa Claus, Jesus
notice,
Christ, Tom Cruise. So I
what
got those things.
Terry was associated with,
I thought that was funny as fuck growing
committees
up.
was he on when he was
Never
in
thought
Congress
that
and
would
the
come
Senate?
again later on.
What countries was he visiting, and what
Yeah.
wars was he interested in his
'Cause
career in the
this
State Department
guy
and
I
in
met,
Congress?
he was trying
And
to troll
you'll
me
see
in
that
court,
most of
and
the
his
activities
name,
he was involved with had to do
yeah,
with drugs. Now,
he was
Leon
trying
Panetta
to,
is
yeah,
another
he had
one.
bad karma anyways.
He's an
He was
ancient
trying to troll me
Iranian
anyways. His name was
bloodline, and he's
Johnny.
from a princely family
And
that
he
is
reminded
from an
me
old city between
I don't
Vienna
know why,
and northern Italy.
but he told me
And
he met
while he was in Congress,
Tesla,
he
but
was
they
Secretary
kept
of
telling me Tom Cruise,
Transportation
Tom Cruise.
for President Clinton.
And I'm like,
Then when
I never got those two mixed up before. I
Obama
never did until I
became
met this guy.
president,
So
he
I'm like, there's
appointed him to
something
be
there. They're
head of
trying
the
to
CIA. Well, the CIA was turned over to the Jesuits, or I should say they took it over in 2002.
they're trying to
And
do something.
so
These
Panetta
spirits,
served 2 years as head of the
it's
CIA.
gang stuff.
And when it was all taken over by the Jesuits,
Then
and what he did
I
was,
remember like 2 years prior, I
I'll
went
tell
to
you
a
in a minute.
bar
And then he left the CIA
because
after 2 years and became
I
Secretary
was
of
told
Defense.
to.
Okay,
I
what
go
is
and I said something about
transportation,
Disney,
CIA, and defense have to do
and the
with
guy
each other?
goes, "He's
Well, it's all
racist,
related
you know
to drugs.
he's racist."
And what he
And
did
that just keeps hitting in my
was
ear.
to modernize
And then
the
I bring it up,
Drangheta, which was a small
and I laugh at it like,
family-centered mafia group in
I don't know.
Italy,
I just laugh at it.
down in the
Like
southern
it
part.
triggered
And I
something.
think he's from the town of his father
Like
was from
for
the
some
village
reason,
of Sedona.
it's like
I think that's the name
I
of the
never
town.
thought of it that
And
way, and I'm like,
his
huh.
father and
Why
every
would he do this?
male
But
in
why would
that
he do
town
that?
had to
Huh.
be members. It's
And
mandatory
then
that you are a member
I keep
of the
asking
Drangheta.
Walt.
And he and his
When
wife
I go
came
to his,
to
whenever I
the
go to Barnes and
Monterey
Nobles, I'll
area.
see
They
something,
were
and
ahead of
I see
time.
something.
They owned
And this one
10
goes
or
like a
11
piece. He's like,
Italian
I go to
restaurants in the little town of
I go to one of his
Monterey.
books,
And of course,
and
they were
it said
working
something
with
about
the
peace
U.S.
pipes,
Navy, and
Native
a lot of
American peace
foreign
pipes.
military entities come over and
So I'm
spend
like,
time
okay,
there
but how come you
in
can't? How
Monterey
come
with the U.S. Navy. So it's a good meeting point
the?
to set off this global drug racketeering up with.
Then like is
Japan,
Hollywood
for
doing this on
instance,
purpose
sent
to
heroin to the United
Tom
States
Cruise? I mean Tom
in their
Hanks.
brand new Hondas. And
Is this
they
how
take
Walt
the brand
Disney
new
really
engine out of
was
the Honda,
if he
put
would
an
have been
older
out in
engine in
public
packed with
or
heroin.
whatever?
The
Was
new
I
engines
don't
are
know.
shipped separately. When the cars arrive,
People's
a
fake. People are
CIA
fake.
shop will remove the engine with the heroin and put the original new engine back in the car, and then they go off to dealerships. And so this is how they're transporting dope around the world, and every Canadian bank is involved in it.
And this is what Disney told me too. There's just certain things you do in your home, and there's certain things you do
by sea. Those ships carry the heroin
that
all over
you
the
shouldn't
world
be doing in front of
deliver it.
children and small children.
And chicken company trucks
certain
and
things
Walmart
like
trucks
spitting,
that go into the Mina airport
yelling,
in
cursing,
Arkansas,
your
pick up the
temper,
heroin and deliver
mind your
it,
manners in
along
front
with
of
the
children.
chickens
That's
and
all it
whatever else
is.
they have in their
That
truck.
includes smoking.
So,
You shouldn't smoke in front of
this is a
children because
well-oiled, smoothly running,
you shouldn't be
highly
smoking
profitable, and extremely dangerous
like.
Right. And
Yeah, you
just to find a
really
word,
shouldn't be smoking
how
in
is
front of
it that
children.
you can
There
have
should be a
Hillary
place for
Clinton
that.
and
There
Bill
should be a
Clinton
time for that.
out on the
It
stump
shouldn't be everywhere.
when they know
And
this? Are they
I do catch myself smoking in front of children, and I've had said, sorry, I shouldn't be doing that in front of you, because it really shouldn't do it. Because I really didn't do it in front of my kids. I did it away. And then I did it in front of them, so they can get comfortable. Like, it's okay. That's what I was doing. But I didn't smoke in front of them. I really didn't like smoking in front of them, but I knew that they needed to be okay with it. They really did need to be okay with it. And they were old enough too. They were old enough, but still, it's not right. Especially when they're smaller, and my kids were older. And I stopped smoking, and I know I didn't need to smoke. I didn't need it. I was too busy to be a mom. So I know what I'm doing is helping the military out.
And there's a song that I've listened to by a British band.
This is a huge medical thing I'm doing too.
And I always wondered, how did they know? Because now I know and we
it's all in the mind.
Are you talking about REM? Are you talking about REM?
Yeah.
Okay, boys.
Yeah. Well, they're from Georgia. They're not from the UK.
Oh, Georgia's a 33rd street, a 33rd state.
Yeah. No. This is the end of the world, and I feel fine. Yeah. So,
yeah, and I feel
so
fine.
when I asked, I go, so
okay.
whoever left me
now,
clues in the city that I lived in, it goes far beyond
which
that.
I think we just exposed.
Because they are getting influence
Donald
from
Trump's wall, which he says it'll cost $8 billion
from the Romans,
to
Greek mythology.
the entire of doping,
And if you
the
follow
CIA,
Greek mythology, and if you follow your ancestors,
the
then
Clintons,
they're gonna.
Mina Airport. This has been going, as you pointed out,
Yeah,
for
our
hundreds of
ancestors are
years.
gonna help out with that.
And since the Vietnam War,
It comes
absolute
back with the mirror
acceleration
stuff
and is the source of the fact that the U.S. is drug addicted, is its own government, is the intelligence agencies. Okay,
and that's what is behind the NAFTA highway.
Right.
The NAFTA highway in every state from Mexico, where it enters Texas, to the Saskatchewan government parliament.
the reason why I'm talking over it too is so when I listen to the radio, listen to myself, I can hear this. But also, I notice it blocks it.
It is a drug highway going north, and it is a mining mineral.
So when I'm in court or walking, I'm listening to like a documentary.
Going south into Mexico, and that's shipped off to China, India,
and then it helps me like, yeah, I shouldn't be talking that much.
So that's what the NAFTA highway is.
Okay, let's shift there to a related topic, and you mentioned
Oh, my neck.
Janet
Getting better now.
Napolitano,
Okay.
who was head of Homeland Security, and now is head of the University of
These are my
California
notes that I have.
system, and urban warfare. By that I mean the occupation
Okay, boys. I'll see you boys in a bit.
of